Watch as raw steel is transformed into sectional garage door springs at AMOB. The bars are coiled, cut, and tempered in high-precision machines, ensuring each spring meets strict standards for strength and durability. It's fascinating to see the speed and accuracy at every step. The attention to detail here really stands out, guaranteeing cons. Steel wires arrive at Fatser AG and are expertly twisted into multi-layered cables for the PIS Val Grande lift. Each 72mm cable is built in 8 steps, closely monitored for accuracy. Modern cableway ropes like these include integrated electrical conductors and fiber optics, an impressive blend of strength and technology. It's incredible knowing these custom cables can last up to 40 years while supporting high speeds and heavy loads. Get ready to see pure ingenuity at work as this homemade 60mm pipe bender shapes steel with surprising power. The process starts with careful placement of a 2.37-inch pipe onto the adjustable rollers. As the hand crank turns, the central roller pushes the pipe against the guides, gradually bending it to the desired angle. You can hear the steel creak slightly under pressure, but the result is smooth and controlled. Each pass tightens the curve, making it easy to form precise radii for construction or custom projects. It's satisfying to watch such simple mechanics achieve professional results. This setup may look basic, but the bending force is no joke. Just one more example of workshop creativity in action. Get ready for an intense display of heat and heavy industry at Arson Dakam, where molten iron becomes a single massive casting weighing up to 3 tons. Just stepping onto the foundry floor, you're hit with a wave of heat and a sense of anticipation that never fades. The process starts as scrap metal and pig iron are loaded into an enormous induction furnace. As the temperature surges past 1,400 degrees Celsius, the roar and glow inside the foundry become absolutely electric. You can almost feel the energy radiating from the molten metal, a sight that never gets old for anyone working here. When the iron reaches the perfect temperature and chemical balance, it's time for the dramatic pour. Workers guide a massive ladle beneath the furnace tap, capturing a river of glowing orange-hot iron. Every movement is measured, every decision made, with full awareness of the power they're controlling. Their coordination is incredible. Everyone knows there's no room for error when dealing with this much heat and weight. The camera catches every tense moment as the ladle is carefully swung across the foundry floor, trailing sparks and heat in its wake. The highlight is the pour. Fiery molten iron surges from the ladle into the waiting mold. Watching the metal fill the cavity feels almost hypnotic, especially with the knowledge that this single pour can weigh up to 3 tons. The instant the last drop leaves the ladle, steam and smoke burst upward, revealing the true intensity of the process. The sheer scale unfolding on the foundry floor is unforgettable. As the mold fills, tension grips the air, and the foundry becomes a stage for raw transformation. The heat shimmers above the floor, and the sound of metal meeting sand echoes throughout the hall. With the pour complete, time seems to slow. The casting must cool and solidify, a process that takes hours and demands patience from every team member. Standing in this environment, the force of industry is impossible to ignore. Each finished part is a product of immense energy, skilled teamwork, and human resolve. The process is both exhausting and inspiring, a true testament to what's possible when power is harnessed with precision. Molten iron and thorough planning set the stage for heavyweight castings with serious impact. Everything begins in engineering, where patterns and prototypes are crafted in close collaboration with customers, laying the blueprint for what's next. In the core room, specialized machines shape sand cores ranging from just a pound to over 2,000 pounds, using advanced shell, cold box, and no-bake techniques. The precision here is impressive. Each core must fit perfectly for flawless castings. On the green sand line, castings between 30 and 1,000 pounds are formed at a rapid pace. Barcodes assigned to each mold ensure complete traceability and control. Every variable from sand weight to squeeze pressure and sprue location is monitored. The heavy-duty induction furnaces melt down scrap steel, and after alloying, the iron is poured into molds, then left to cool. Once solidified, the castings move to finishing. Robotic grinders shape, clean, and prepare every surface, whether it's a simple part or a 2,000-pound giant. Quality checks are relentless. Spectrometer analysis, ultrasonic and X-ray testing guarantee every detail is right. Selected castings get a protective primer, providing extra defense for demanding applications. Next, the shipping team handles logistics, ensuring each piece arrives safely wherever it's needed. Finally, patterns are stored on-site, ready for future runs or customer reorders. It's a process built on engineering excellence, teamwork, and unyielding attention to quality. Watching it all come together is nothing short of inspiring.
Change, been through a lot of pain.
A vast steelworks rises just outside Erbil, where Med Steel transforms piles of discarded scrap into the backbone of new construction across Kurdistan. On a 250-acre site buzzing with energy, this factory is a powerhouse for progress and local industry. Each day, convoys deliver tons of metal scrap to the yard, where over 100 technical specialists oversee careful sorting and removal of impurities. Clean scrap then heads to giant electric arc furnaces, where the temperature soars to a blazing 1,700 degrees Celsius. Watching raw metal become a swirling pool of molten steel is an unforgettable sight, and the intensity on the floor is unmistakable. As soon as the steel is ready, it's cast into billets, each one glowing with promise. The action never stops. Billet after billet forms, a steady stream powering the production line. Rolling mills then take over, reshaping billets into rebar from 8mm to 32mm, destined to reinforce the region's future towers and bridges. Med Steel's in-house power plant generates 52 megawatts of electricity, ensuring operations run smoothly without strain on the public grid. Every process is monitored for top quality, producing bars that flex but won't snap even under harsh conditions. Waste materials are routed to recycling partners, showing respect for both efficiency and the environment. It's impossible not to feel the pride and ambition that echo through every corner. Here, steelmaking fuels the dreams of a growing region.
Back a year ago.
Mountains of discarded electric motors hold a hidden fortune inside: copper, aluminum, and steel just waiting to be recovered. Every stator that reaches this machine is another chance to unlock hidden value. The process starts by placing the stripped stator, already removed from its housing, onto the hydraulic machine's sturdy platform. Positioning is crucial, making sure the slots and coils line up perfectly under the pulling jaws. With a quick adjustment, the operator brings the hydraulic gripper down, clamping onto the exposed copper wires. The grip is powerful and precise, designed to grab just the copper without mangling the stator's steel frame. A simple push on the control sends the jaws into action. As the hydraulic system powers up, you can see the tension in the copper coils begin to build. Then, with a burst of force, the copper is wrenched loose, sliding out of the stator slots in dramatic fashion. Some wires come out in tangled, springy bunches, others unwind smoothly in long loops. Every pull reveals a new pattern. Sometimes it looks almost like an industrial art show. The machine's jaws release, and the operator checks for leftover strands, quickly repositioning to grab any copper still stuck inside. Occasionally, a stubborn coil needs a second try, but the hydraulic power makes short work of even the toughest jobs. Watching the copper extraction up close, you realize how much valuable metal is locked away in scrap motors. The process is repetitive, but never boring. Each stator is a little different, and the results are always rewarding. The sound of metal creaking and copper snapping free is oddly satisfying, proof that no complicated steps are needed when you have the right tool for the job. Once a batch is finished, the clean stator frames are set aside, ready for recycling as steel, while the copper goes into bins for further processing or sale. This straightforward method doesn't just save time. It turns what used to be tedious manual labor into a quick, efficient operation. That's the real beauty here, transforming messy, leftover motors into clean, valuable copper, all with the push of a button and a flash of hydraulic muscle. In the heart of Krasnik, advanced technology and tradition unite to create world-class rolling bearings. Each production run starts with steel sourced from top global suppliers, every batch thoroughly tested in on-site laboratories for purity and strength. Inside the vast 50-hectare technology park, the factory hums with activity, as automated lines and skilled workers turn raw steel into essential bearing components. The scale is striking, with rows of machinery working in perfect rhythm, each station focused on precision and speed. The journey is both complex and impressive. Steel bars are cut, heated, and forged with powerful precision. Machining and grinding shape the races and rollers, while robotic systems assemble each bearing with absolute consistency. Inspections happen at every stage. There's real pride in the flawless finish and smooth rotation of each part. What's truly remarkable is how innovation meets reliability. Research and development teams are always experimenting with new alloys and production methods to push performance further. Watching each finished bearing roll off the line, ready to keep machines running everywhere, you can't help but admire the commitment and expertise behind every detail.
Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it.
The transformation from a flat steel sheet to a finished 200-liter drum is a masterclass in precision manufacturing. Each step along the way reveals just how far industrial automation has come. It all begins with massive coils of steel, each one unrolled and cut into sheets of exactly the right size. Automated feeders deliver these sheets into the main forming line. The sound of steel moving and machinery working in sync fills the air. In a synchronized motion, powerful rollers gradually bend and curve the steel until it forms a perfect cylinder. The edges meet seamlessly, producing a drum body with no open seam. It's always impressive to see how accurately the machine shapes the metal, leaving a smooth, unbroken surface. Seeing that perfect cylinder roll out, you realize how critical alignment is for the rest of the process. As soon as the cylinder emerges, it moves to the beating station. Here, the drum passes through a series of forming rollers that press multiple reinforcement ribs around the body. Each rib strengthens the drum, giving it rigidity and that unmistakable industrial profile. The rhythmic vibration of metal on metal almost feels like a heartbeat for the entire line. The rhythmic press of steel on steel is strangely satisfying to watch, and you can tell how each bead helps the drum withstand internal pressure and rough handling. Meanwhile, on a separate production line, sheets of steel are cut and stamped into discs for the top and bottom ends of the drum. These ends go through forming presses to shape and flange the edges, ensuring they'll fit snugly onto the body. Operators closely monitor these presses to ensure perfect shapes every time. For some drums, openings are precisely punched for future filling and emptying. With all components prepared, assembly comes next. The bottom end is positioned on the drum body and locked tightly in place using a powerful crimping tool. It's a careful, controlled sequence, sometimes double-checked by skilled operators to guarantee a perfect seal. A quick tap or inspection with the hand gives workers instant feedback on the fit. Next up is painting. Each drum is lifted onto a rotating stand where automated spray guns apply a protective coating of paint inside and out. The paint layer is tailored to the drum's future use, ensuring long-lasting resistance to corrosion, chemicals, and weather. Freshly painted drums glisten under the factory lights as they move down the line. Watching the bright, even coat go on is a highlight of the process. As the drums exit the paint booth, they travel through a drying tunnel, where the finish hardens into a tough shell. Quality control is ever present on the line. Workers and automated cameras inspect each drum for surface flaws, dents, and bead depth. It's a team effort, with every person and machine focused on delivering perfection. Selected samples are tested for air or water leaks. Any drum that doesn't pass inspection is set aside for rework or recycling. Only those meeting the highest standards move forward. From the first steel coil to the final gleaming product, the entire process is a blend of raw strength and technological finesse. Every completed drum is a small victory for the team. Each drum reflects thousands of precise movements and careful checks, all designed to deliver reliability and safety in the field. It's a striking example of how industrial manufacturing turns basic materials into essential high-performance products. On the assembly line in Zwolle, the Scania R730 V8 streamline takes shape through a perfectly timed sequence. Teams at separate stations build the axles, cab, engine, frame, and gearbox, each component engineered for a precise fit. Just-in-time logistics keep everything moving smoothly, with 500 skilled workers at 65 stations collaborating to assemble the truck in about 7 hours. The modular design makes each truck unique, matching exact customer needs and technical requirements. As every major part connects, the atmosphere is electric. Pride and focus are visible in every detail. Once the main assembly is complete, custom features are added with careful attention. It's a process where experience and coordination turn hundreds of parts into a powerful finished machine, ready to roll out for its first journey. This is manufacturing at its most impressive. This is where creativity and engineering meet as raw steel tubing is transformed into beautiful scrolls. The operator heats half-inch square tubing and places it into the SSB3 scroll bending unit, where a computerized controller and frequency inverter offer total control over speed and direction. Tools fit directly into the drive, making quick adjustments possible for different shapes and sizes. The large working table and swivel control panel make every operation more efficient. Watching the steel curve smoothly and evenly, you can appreciate the finesse of the process. Every bend is consistent, and even complex shapes come out looking flawless. After scrolling, the tube can be forged down, then finished on a belt grinder for a polished edge. The system works with square, round, and flat materials, giving artists and fabricators true versatility with every project. A red-hot steel billet starts on the ground, glowing fresh from the furnace. The forging hammer pounds it down, flattening the block with thunderous force. Forklifts move in to lift the heated slab, suspending it in the air for the next step. Now the block is hammered and rotated, gradually opening into a wide ring. Sparks fly with each heavy blow, lighting up the workshop in flashes of orange. With each round, workers carefully lower the ring, adjust its shape, and then hoist it up for more forging. The teamwork here is non-stop. Every motion is precise, every swing counts. The heat, noise, and power are incredible up close. By the end, the transformation is complete. A perfect steel ring forged by pure strength and skill.